Hello everyone, my name is Akash Acharya and I take care of verbal ability section here at SuperGrads. We today for you guys have brought this video, a short video where we'll be talking about techniques to build better vocabulary. All right. So if we talk about vocabulary, when we look at vocabulary and when we look at the words and the word lists that are there in any of the books or the book or the notebook that we have created जहाँ पर हम अपने वर्ड्स डेली के लिख रहे होते हैं और डेली के तो लिख रहे होते हैं मगर थोड़े समय बाद जब हम उसको देख रहे होते हैं देन वी फाइंड आउट कि ओके एक डिक्शनरी से बचने के लिए हम लोगों ने दूसरी डिक्शनरी क्रिएट कर ली एंड वी ऑलवेज गेट स्टक बिकॉज वी फील इट इज अ वेरी कम्बरसम टास्क हमें बहुत ज्यादा ऐसा लगता है कि यार कैसे काम करेंगे जब वोकैबुलरी की बात है सो हियर वी आर मैं कुछ ऐसे टेक्निक्स आज आप लोगों के साथ डिस्कस करता हूं जिससे आप लोगों को हेल्प मिलेगी इन वर्किंग अपॉन more and more words and adding those words to your existing vocabulary. As we all know, that vocabulary is a very important thing when we talk about cracking our examination. Right? So, if I talk about that, as you can see here on the heading, vocabulary techniques. So, first one, you can always talk about the root words. Whenever you talk about working upon the root words, prefixes, and suffixes, this will enable you in actually breaking a word into smaller pieces and then trying to guess the meaning of it. All right. So, for example, root words के लिए जैसे मैं आप लोगों को बोलूं हमारे पास एक वर्ड है मिसोजिनिस्ट अब मिसोजिनिस्ट के लिए यदि हम लोगों ने बात किया सो हियर इज दिस वर्ड गायने the gyne is the root word for female human beings then I have this suffix that is written here ist refers to a person who has some quality which quality then we get idea of that quality on the basis of the word with which it is being clubbed with ठीक है so अपन लोगों ने यहाँ पर misogynist लिया है ist is the word which will refer to a person. Gyne here is the word which is giving you an indication that it talks about women. And meson is the Latin root word of it. It refers to someone who is against of anything. All right. So a person who is against of women, a person who hates women is a person who is a misogynist. All right. With the same approach, we can work upon some other words also. Now, for example, we know that gamos is the word, a root word that refers to marriages. Then, if I say there is a person who has practiced or who is in favor of practicing single marriage, so gamy हमें पता है कि वहां आ गया. अभी single marriage है तो we'll say monogamy. फिर यदि मैंने उसको बायगैमी कर दिया तो वो टू मैरिजेस हो गया राइट फिर यदि मैं ऐसा बोलूं कि एक पर्सन है जो मैरिजेस के अगेंस्ट है देन वी विल क्रिएट अ वर्ड ऑन दिस पैटर्न एंड वी विल से मीजोगैमिस्ट दैट पर्सन will be मीजोगैमिस्ट so this is how you can work upon the root words so always try to work upon the root words get aware of more and more root words and its combination with the prefixes and the suffixes will give you the meaning of the word that you have come across. All right. So ये एक बहुत important तरीका है जो आपके vocabulary existing vocabulary को boost करने के लिए आप लोग use कर सकते हो. So this was for root words. You can always try to make the word clusters. For example, I've taken a word. Listen, if you try to mug up the meaning of a word, you will forget it because mugging up something is the first step of forgetting it. है ना सो ऑन प्रॉपर इंटरवल्स आपको उसको रिवाइज करना पड़ेगा एंड कुछ बैकिंग होगा यदि उसका तो आप वो और अच्छे से याद रख सकते हो फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ आई एम रिमेंबरिंग अ वर्ड अलोन दैट वुड क्रिएट एन इशू बट इफ आई रिमेंबरिंग a word in group right so there are multiple words that I've kept in my memory together so if I remember one I will be able to attach it or connect it with some other word and then work upon the word again. All right. So, for example, if I say magnanimous is a word, अभी magnanimous है. अभी magnanimous है कोई person, so person who is large-hearted, a person who can also be a philanthrope. So, philanthrop is a person who loves mankind. Philanthropist is a person who loves mankind. So आप magnanimous के साथ words add कर सकते हो. So आपने बोला large hearted is a word that we can use. Alright. A person who is noble. A person who is humble. A person who is sublime. ये भी एक word है जो आप use कर सकते हो. Sublimation होता है physics में process है ना तो heavenly experience है. Sublime ये आप word use कर सकते हो. फिर मैंने आपको एक word और बताया था अभी magnanimous के लिए आपने a person who is amiable Amiable is a word that you can use. एल्ट्रुइस्ट, फिलेंथ्रोप, ये वर्ड आप लोग यूज कर सकते हो. इसके साथ साथ आप इसके अपोजिट पे भी काम कर सकते हो. A person who is magnanimous and a person who is pusillanimous. So pusillanimous is a word that you can use here. All right. So I am not trying to remember these words individually. I am trying to come up with a cluster, a group of these words, and then I am remembering these words. So this is how we can work upon the word clusters. The first one, you can no doubt work upon the root words, prefixes, and suffixes. Secondly, you can try to remember these words in groups. So आपके पास word cluster पे काम करना is the second approach. Then you can work upon the mnemonics. Mnemonics matlab, this is some process through which you work upon the words and you develop better understanding by associating that word with some memory that you have, some experience that you already have. All right. So यदि मैंने बोला there is this song, राजनीति मूवी आई थी उससे कि भीगी सी भागी सी. Now you say भीगी सी भागी सी सौगी सी. Now soggy is यहाँ पर word which refers to भीगी भागी only. तो हम wet यदि है तो फिर वहां पर आपने soggy word use कर लिया. You remember it by saying anything now. You say a person, if you see a person who is struggling with his wife, that situation is really very uncomfortable for the person. All right, वो बहुत uncomfortable situation है. A person who is struggling with his wife is strife. So strife में है struggling, right? So this is how you can work upon the mnemonics. You can create your own examples. All right. आप लोग होते हैं tenants, ये चीज समझ सकते हैं कि if you are going out there और आप रह रहे हो कहीं पे, कई बार वो जो typical landlord होते हैं, वो typical landlord वाला जो character है वो इतना खतरनाक है कि वो बहुत ज्यादा आपको लोड देता है. मतलब समथिंग दैट इज रियली वेरी बर्डनसम, ओनरस. यदि आप ओनरस के बारे में बात करोगे तो ओनर से निकल के आ रहा है, टीनेंट से, वहां से रिलेट करो. सो यो व्हाट आर यू डूइंग? यू आर ट्राइंग टू एसोसिएट दैट वर्ड, creating an example, and with that association you're trying to remember that word. Are you getting my point? So this is how you can work upon mnemonics. mnemonics से आप लोग काम कर सकते हो. Then no doubt you can work upon the contextual meaning a lot of times, because this will happen with you even after teaching for more than 8-9 years now. I still come across a lot of words जिनके मीनिंग मुझे नहीं पता होते, वो मैं पहली बार देख रहा होता हूँ. So this will happen. This is English. This is so broad कि आपको ये चीज चलती रहेगी. But मुझे अंडरस्टैंडिंग तो है. So what I will do, I am not getting that particular word alone. All right, until and unless someone is giving me that word and asking me to tell him the synonyms or antonyms. यदि तब तक नहीं है तब तक सिंपली आप कुछ मत करो. एक वर्ड आपके पास आ गया है ना, you know the context ना. You try to judge the contextual meaning on the basis of the references of the statements that are coming before or after that thing. Try to gauge the tone of the author. Try to work upon the tone in a manner कि भाई इस वर्ड का जो मीनिंग है वो पॉजिटिव निकलेगा, वो नेगेटिव निकलेगा, वो न्यूट्रल निकलेगा. इस बेसिस पर हाउ कैन आई जज द कंटेक्चुअल मीनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड्स, राइट? दिस इज व्हाट यू कैन डू. Then you can take specific set, you can take a specific direction, and under that instruction you're supposed to work upon the words, है ना? Because what happens, a lot of us work for clearing the examination. हमें examination clear करना है और हम इसलिए काम कर रहे हैं. Alright, so examination में क्या होता है? They'll take RCs, they will use these words there in RCs. Alright, तो bring specific fields, bring those words जो कि ग्रुप में एक स्पेसिफिक फील्ड से आ रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई कैन वर्क अपॉन फिलोसफी, so I'll have to work upon the dialects and jargons of philosophy. So we can go out there, Google it, and we can get a word list of all the dialects and jargons, the terminologies of philosophy, and that is how you can boost your understanding, comprehension, and your word knowledge. All these things. So these are all the things you can generally use in order to boost your vocabulary. All right. So I hope कि इन सारी टेक्निक्स को आप लोग अपने दिमाग में रखेंगे and you'll start working upon vocabulary. I hope कि आप लोगों ने already start कर लिया होगा, but इसमें से कुछ टेक्निक्स आपके बहुत काम आने वाली है. All right. So see you in the next video. Right, guys. Bye bye. I hope this works for you.